don't dwell in the past, but I never shut the door on the past. And I realized that was an undisciplined moment. And during my life, I realized I have to watch those moments so that could happen again. So I'm always aware of how I conduct myself. And plus, when I was fighting, I was on so much drugs and so many pills. I was depressed, I was bipolar, man, I was tripolar, I was everything. I don't know how I stayed alive, really, but this is the best I ever felt, and I'm very grateful.
They have stuff now in Vegas that's legal for tripolar, they tell me. I'm not sure if that's true. You know what?
Not for the kind of bipolar I had.
You know what's amazing is that Holyfield, when he was one of the first guests on my show in this corner, and he told me that he forgave Mike in his mind right away. And a lot of people don't know that Holyfield actually bit somebody, earlier in his trials. And so, but he was a guy that said that he forgave you, and now you have a good relationship with Evander.
Another thing.
Great minds think alike.
What I was saying is that was something I did, and I was very grateful that he had accepted my apology. That meant more to me than anything that he accepted my apology, because I know I wasn't in the right frame of mind, and I shouldn't have been fighting. I shouldn't have been fighting because I had so many mental issues. I was so, But I'm just really grateful that he accepted my apology.
I want to say one thing too. I've been able to cover sports for 40 years. And I want to say this about you. Mike Tyson takes his medicine. He doesn't blame the trainer. He doesn't blame the doctor. He doesn't blame the opponent. He doesn't blame the police. He doesn't blame anybody. He stands up there and he comes and he faces the music. Today, we have a lot of people who will hide behind any wall they can from the public and not accept responsibility and accountability. And you may think whatever you may think of Mike Tyson, but let me tell you something. He answers the bell every time and says, I screwed this up. I effed this up. This is on me. And there's a great lesson to be taught. At least I see a great lesson in that. When you see others, why were you always able to put it on your shoulders instead of trying to pass it off to someone else?
Because I was the leader of my group. Team Tyson. I gotta take all the punishment for myself. I'm gonna do very Hollywood street of my life. John Wall street of my life. That's not the truth.
How much has Kiki and your wife and your children been a blessing and been of help?
Man, I'd be dead without I'm just really lucky. Really lucky.
And you recognize these moments now. Now you're totally restored. Here's another thing. Let me tell you something. These people came after this man like nobody else. Other heavyweight champions have been come after. Not only the authorities for what went on, but also the tax man, the IRS. And Mike told me last night he paid the IRS in full. After he was bankrupt, $50 million.
Yeah, I was grateful for that as well. I was grateful for that as well too, because I never thought I'd make that kind of money again to pay these people off. So I thought I was destitute. But my wife fought, she just fought, and eventually I couldn't pay him for a while, so they took some money off. Said, can you pay now? I said, I can't pay you now. They took some more money off. They said, can you pay now? I said, I can pay you a little bit, but I can't pay no more. I can't pay the bill. So I gave them a few $1 million, and I didn't have to pay them no more, but it wasn't nothing compared to what I owed them.
Why did you want to do that? A lot of people just try and step away from it and evade it their whole life and eventually. Why was it important to you to finish that?
In order to have a healthy life, and a healthy lifestyle with your family, you have to get these people off your back.
Before I go to Steve and a few more questions and comments, the script that I had for this is totally blown away and great. Thank God that it did. As a little kid growing up and spending so much time with Muhammad Ali at the Fifth Street Gym and being a part of his life, and even though we think of Mike Tyson in some ways as the antithesis of Muhammad Ali, all these years later, getting to know Mike and even sitting here now at the Hall of Fame with him, there is a lot of common ground in the way we as boxing fans feel about Muhammad Ali and Mike Tyson.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that comparison. And no one's like Ali. I could never fill his shoes, but that was just it's great to be compared to him. Thank you very much.
Steve, some final comments about what this all means to you and life after boxing, LAB I call it, what it's been like for you?
Well, now I'm a stay-at-home sportscaster.
You do your own shopping?
Mike writes all my material, by the way.
Win another Emmy then.
He's my comedy writer. By the way, I have to give props out to Mike for just the way you reinvented yourself. It's unbelievable. You know, you just get it. You get it, and you're such an aware person, and with the movies, with the show that you do, the one-man show, you know, the cartoon series, and what you're doing now. I know you're involved in a different project now. Would you like to get into that?
This is a cannabis program, and it's not necessarily for people that want to get high, but if you want to get high, you can. But it's mostly medicinal, where you can go there for medicine and get pain. I'm being really serious here.
And it's legal where we live, ladies and
So
gentlemen.
I'm not doing anything wrong. Yes, and that's Business I'm in. We just had our first summit a week ago. It turned out real well. We got the NFL involved, and this is something. This is going to be pretty fun. I'm looking forward to it. It might be profitable as well.
What strand of, what do you call
We
it here?
have all the stuff. We got Knockout Kush, we got KO Kush,
Ear aroma and all kinds of stuff.
Which one works best?
The sativa. Keeps you functioning. You can work on it. You can't work on that indica stuff. Indica is like in the couch. You can't move.
Alrighty then. Hey.
We'll edit all this out. Don't worry about it. But are you still doing your one-man show?
Yeah. But do in I think on the 23rd or the 24th, we're doing it in Bogota in Atlantic City.
Any more Hangover movies coming up?
God knows you created a few.
Well, once they call me, I'm here.
You know, Mike said something. Mike said,
I did, yeah.
I asked Mike last night, I said, you know, Mike, you've left a lot of material out of your one-man show. I said, when do you know, and it's the most honest portrayal of anybody's life. Anybody should go see it at the MGM, and it travels all over, but in Las Vegas at the MGM, I said, you know, I know a lot of stories that have been left out. Mike said, public can't take everything.
Yeah, they can't take everything. They look at me really funny. Hey, but listen, about Jim again. This has been an awesome occasion, and not only that, I get to meet Jim's whole family. I met his two brothers. By looking at the two brothers, I could tell Jim was the baby. You know, so. But the fact is that I'm very happy here because he brought his whole family, and he asked me to come here, so I know this meant an extremely important moment for him, and I'm just happy to be here. It wasn't me, my wife, I wasn't getting the fingernails done right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, this has been an honor being here in front of all you great people. Wow. Many people. Wow. Great to work with Jim Gray for many, many years on Showtime Championship Boxing, although, as I mentioned before, I was very meticulous in preparing for my fights with my notes. But this guy would always, 2 seconds or 2 minutes before we go on the air, steal my notes. Before I would go on. And he drove me crazy. Where are my notes? Where are my notes? I can't go on the air. I've been working months on this fight. And this joker over here had him in his back pocket somewhere.
I've been really blessed. I've had an Albert in my life since I was 12 years old. Al Albert used to do the Denver Rockets and the Denver Nuggets game.
USA Tuesday Night Football.
And I was a ball boy.
Al was my brother.
Al's his brother.
Yeah.
And
But
so
most
Al-
people think
I'm gonna pass that on to Marv as well. Anyway, so Al, I grew up with Al, and then I got to work for many decades with Steve, and also many decades with Marv at NBC, and so I've had this vote in my head of who I like the best, and I'm going to reveal it, but I've had to get a security clearance from Ernst & Young.
keep it to yourself.
The final tally is coming in. Marvin inched ahead for a little while, and then he dropped an Al. So I
got to tell you who my
think
favorite.
maybe now that you're in the Hall of Fame, Steve's my favorite Albert.
Thank you very much. I finally made it. Recognized by Jim Ray. But in all sincerity, my favorite Ray, of course. Your wife.
What it takes to make a great broadcast are great broadcasters and great fighter. Steve Albert, Jim Gray, and Iron Mike Tyson. Please give it up. Jim and Steve will be signing autographs to my right. Mike's got a busy night, and you'll have to catch him later. Thank you, guys.